Yo, abusia for enyumre yeda otwedi ampon ase e wo ne bambo ne ne hweso power dia boy na yetuma se hia enyumre e wo next the revival adwumadie so enyumre me amedi adwumadie ho chia me din ene Daniel Opunimensa me free California ton na ma bedru ha ne California fo ni nyina ya ba yeda nyame ase se through virtual means, California for you know to me by next revival. And yes, in the saying, amen. And you may send ya in Jume, no ABC Aqua in there. Manusi ya Yeniaba Justina or say we su. Yeah, na Yenia Mercy Boabe and so abo. Empire shonko amaye na ye de ahye eso enwumre mi ogide ye se onyame be hirayen emre a ye ba be di e wo sa adwumade eso enenti meja ha na ye nia Justina o say wusu e de ye special song na amaye.
Amen.
And the call has said, I record.
Amen.
Pamchom ye mompaye. Yes, you dimafo na ne nyame anadwi ayini asidanka udinda.
Amen.
Ya dawasi bebre. Wode waya maye wo hwe sopa na obambo. Wo mo bra do so ama wo ma.
Amen.
Eja defo efra no pay ye komia ya hudo bebre. Yenye nanti yenye tena afidi ahudo mu yenye wo fie na nka bibia betimi ato ye so na madom so abo ye ho ba dia yenye asida. Eni eni onyam ka odi anadwe.
Amen.
E was se wo de nkwache ye. Wa ma ye kwan se ene so so ye mra na ye de onyame medi ahia. Ye so se ne de hira ye. Ma ye mfiri ha nkokwa. Ye mu ma wadom no hira no eno so wo maso. Eja ye ni painti. Brebia ye bone. Ahudo bebre. Ye so se ne bone bia ye bia wadom ti fa che.
Amen.
Bi kwan ma ye mpaibo na mpaibo ahudo na ebebo nyina no unyame watie na waya maye yesro sefa adwene bia ne akoma bia no mu bia ya adwene akoma mu na de wonnam akwa so de baba ya nwure so yetimi atie nyetie ne yie ne de aboye bra na boye na nsan wi asem yeda wase pa se watie na obehira ya na dwe na waye bisade ahudo nyina maye esanse e bisade nyina wo do bane de munti amen.
Amen.
Yo, yadamase ebusiafo. Ano enumere ya kenkan sem no yebehu afri Proverbs chapter 4 verse 20. Proverbs chapter 4 verse 20 to 22. Proverbs 4 20 to 22. Mainte onyame asem mekan brofo. O say, my son, attend to my words, incline thy ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thy eyes. Keep them in the midst of thy heart, for they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Amen. Enumere onyame enam na kwa Dr. Martin Opoku Jamfiso ena oni yen be kasa enumere. Doctor eye asorpanyi a ewo Hartford, Ghana, sorry a ewo ho. Na doctor eye medical doctor ankasa. Na wasan so ye doctor in natural medicine. Mse brofumu yataka bibi se integrative medicine. Nti enumere de nimse ye benya afanu ni nyina ye Ghana fo de beboa ye mpa. Onyame enam doctor so enumere na ebetu ye mfo. Enunti ye betie ye theme song no. Na ye wie ye theme song no na ene a ye betie no eye Dr. Martin Opoku Jamfi. Na onyame nam no so be kasa kire enumere. Da mo ase. Mama ye nya aso ne yentie.
Yo, abusuafo yere nyame ase sɛ ennɛ anwummere so ama yɛ kwan ama yɛ akwanya kɛseɛ sɛ yɛmmra na yɛmmra mesua ho adeɛ na yɛda asafo mpanimfoɔ asɔfo ɛne president ne ne mpanimfoɔ nso ase sɛ wɔn ato nsa afrɛ me ennɛ anwummere na megye di sɛ na wɔtwe nyinaa Nyankopɔn ɛhyira yɛn kɛse paa enti ɛnna nwummere nso yɛbɛtoa so na yɛsua adesua bi a mato ne din sɛ cancer is a preventable disease. Cancer yɛ yare a yɛtumi ɛbɔ yɛn ho ban ɛfiri ho. Sɛ cancer deɛ yare bi a obiara suro. Most of the time, sɛ yɛka cancer, adeɛ baako pɛ na ɛbɛ obiara adwene mu. Ɛyɛ oncologist, doctors ahorow nyinaa, oncologist no ɛyɛ headache kɛseɛ paa ma wɔn fisitore biara na obi amanfoɔ tɛ bi sɛ cancer koraa adeɛ na ɛde ba. Na answer yɛ a na yɛtanya ne sɛ yɛnim deɛ ɛde ba. Ɛyɛ mixture of environmental factors ne genetics. Inti no na akɔyɛ te sɛ deɛ yɛayɛ helpless no te sɛ deɛ biribi ani hɔ nom a yɛbɛtumi ayɛ afa cancer ho. Nanso no nhwehwɛmu bebree wɔ hɔ nom a ɛkyerɛ sɛ nneɛma bebree wɔ hɔ nom a yɛbɛtumi ayɛ afa cancer ho nom. Nti ɛno ɛna nnɛ anwummere mepɛ sɛ yɛbɛka ho asɛm kakra. Deɛ di kan yɛbɛbisa sɛ cancer koraa ne di ade. What is cancer? Cancer no ɛnyɛ yareɛ baako. Ɛyɛ yareɛ ahoroɔ more than 100 ɛna yɛaka bɔ mu a yɛfrɛ no cancer no. Na deɛ teɛ ne sɛ ne suban anaasɛ cancer ne suban paa kɛseɛ baako ne sɛ yɛ nipadua no akwa a yɛfrɛ no cells ne bi ne deɛ ne sɛ ɛnyini saa biribiara ntumi ama ne nyare nyini. Sɛ yɛbɛte ase yie amom yɛnhwɛ sɛ yɛwɔ akwaraa foforɔ ato hɔ nom yɛwo no to hɔ nom ɔyɛ ketewaa bi afei na ɔtwe kɔ n'anim bosome kɔ n'anim mfie kɔ n'anim na ɔnyini wobɛhu na akwaraa ketewa na ɔda ne maame anaa ne papa nsa so ketewaa bi no na ɔbɛyɛ panin. Ɛyɛ dɛn na ɔtumi yɛ panin saa? Cells no enyini na onyini a every time bia na onyini koduru mpɛmpɛnsoɔ bi na agyae nyini. Mmerɛ so sɛ nyini bi ma na to aso saa na nipadua no nyame yɛ no. Enti yɛwɔ controls bi wɔ nipadua no ma kyerɛ ne sɛ nyini gyae. Na cancer no de yɛne deɛ ne sɛ a grow out of control bibia ni hɔ no ma yɛtumi control no. Nti cancer na ne main characteristic no ɛno no. Na sɛ mohwɛ screen yi a mobɛhu sɛ normal cells ne ni na meka sɛ cell ɛne deɛ cell ɛne sɛ yɛhwɛ nipadua yi nyinaa na wokyekyɛ nipadua no mu nkete ne ketewa paa ɛwɔ mu no ɛno ne yɛfrɛ ne cell. Ɛte sɛ deɛ wowɔ ɛdan kɛseɛ si hɔ wasi aborosan kɛseɛ si hɔ nom na wokasa pɛ sɛ wokyekyɛ aborosan no mu a na woba the smallest unit a yɛde build yɛde si dan no a wobɛhu sɛ ɛyɛ bricks anaasɛ blocks. It is our blocks baako no na yakeka bɔ mu ade asi abosan no. Saa pepepe na nipadua no nso tie. Cells no na akeka bɔ mu na abɛyɛ nipadua. It is yɛka sɛ cell a ne yɛka nipadua no nkyekyɛmu paa ketewa a nkwa ne ahoɔden wɔ mu. Na nti wohwɛ cell a ɛyɛ normal a sɛ ne tie. Ɛyɛ baako na enyini a na emu apae mmienu na abɛyɛ mmienu. Nti sɛ ɛyɛ normal a sɛ na ɛsɛ yɛ ɛsɛ toa so akɔ. Na yɛmfa ne sɛ emu ɛkyɛɛ no a enyini kɔ no na biribi esi wɔ cell no mu a na cell no ɛsɛe a nipadua no Nyankopɔn de biribi ahyɛ nipadua no mu sɛ cell a asɛe no ɛsɛ sɛ etimi ku no na ɛhye n'ase sɛ de bɛyɛ a ɛnkɔ so ɛnnɔre na ɛnyɛ bebree. Nti na nipadua no ankasa yɛ den ɛku no na yɛfrɛ no cell suicide anaasɛ apoptosis no. Nti nipadua no mu no yɛwɔ fidie bi wɔ mu, yɛwɔ mechanism bi a Nyame de ahyɛ mu a time bi a cell bi bɛsɛ bi a na ntam na waku no sɛ de bɛyɛ ntimi nyini. Nanso ɛwɔ mu a cell bi etimi get out of hand, etimi ehuri efiri saa fidie na Nyankopɔn esum wɔ nipadua no mu no. Na ama nipadua no ntimi nko no. Ɛyɛ saa na kyerɛ cell no enyini na from one cell na afei na afei say divide na be 4 na we no so divide saa bo se na afei na aginsem na be uncontrolled growth no na dane cancer. Inti cancer ekwan a cancer fa so develop no ye be contem kakra me a lot of information we have time inti me contem ti me sremo say mo fa nche me na mo follow me mo have statistics here wo yi su ya. We are the 10 leading causes of cancer and the 10 leading deaths from cancer. We are 2017 source near National Cancer Institute. We have from 1 to 10 year 2017, 2020 the same thing. Number 1, breast cancer saying 252,000 and nipa 40,000 in 2017. In 2020 estimate say nipa 279,100 in Ibinya. A breast cancer and emu 42,000 in ebewu. Okwa lung, prostate, colorectal, melanoma, bladder cancer ni na atwa so. Into hia cancer no nyina na enyinya afiko na nim na numbers na ekosoro na nipa ewu no so ekosoro. Ohwe ha se ya we hu 40,000, 42,000 na ewu ye. 155,000 lung cancer nkwa na aba form kakra. If you say nipa bebre adwena aba so say smoking na ya big factor nti majai. Diaka ni nyina ekosoro. Prostate 26 2017, 2020 33,000, colorectal 50, 53, 2020. Sa anti uhwe sa enipa ya ewu nyina ya ayade bia yebetimi abɔ ho ban a enipa bebree sei ensese omu eno nti na yesua sa adesua yi ene ne yebebisa se ene na cancer no kra de na ekoso se ne midi kan kan na niema mienu environmental factors ne say niema ɛwɔ baabi a yɛteɛ mframa a yɛ ho me aduane a yɛdie nsuo a yɛnom nneɛma a yɛde sra yɛ ho nnuro a yɛnom ɛnonom ne environmental factors no ɛna genetic factors ne deɛ ɛne ade a yɛde awo yɛn emogya na sɛ esu a yɛnya firi yɛ maame ne yɛ papa nom hɔ a ɛno no yɛni su control nti afei yɛbɛkɔ mmirika kakra wohwɛ we a wobɛhu sɛ environmental factors no sɛ yɛka cancer nyinaa environmental factors no contribute to 90 to 95% of all cancers environmental. Genes, genetics account for just 5 to 10%. Nti no say enipa bebree ya adwena kosi sɛ genes genetics or we dey mean control nti na say you feel so helpless. But no crepa a woman say 90 to 95% environmental, which means say you betimi prevent 90 to 95% of all the cancers if we control the environmental factors. Afei yɛbɛtoa so environmental factors no sɛ yɛkɔ yɛkyi kakra a wohwɛ ha environmental na yɛbɛkɔ mu kakra wohwɛ first one yɛ a wɔyɛ diet adidie na afei yɛaba tobacco yɛaba infections ne yɛaba kɛseyɛ obesity ne yɛaba alcohol ɛna others nti afei yɛbɛkɔ mu baako diet nie na wohwɛ diet a within the environmental factors no a cause cancer no diet nko akɔ so 35% of all the environmental causes of cancer. Now, cancers are whole related to diet in larynx, musa, bladder, mouth, pharynx, esophagus, lung cancer, colorectal cancer, pancreatic cancer. Now, cancer biya ni dodoa diet ekoso. For example, lung cancer, the contribution of diet to lung cancer no about 20%. But colorectal cancer, 70% of all colorectal cancer is related to diet. Pancreatic cancer, 50%. Prostate cancer, 75%. Breast cancer, 50%. Prostate cancer, and the leading killer right now. So we lung cancer free honor you can man over men specific prostate cancer a big problem passes and a man so breast cancer. Okay. After young can obesity. And also cancers are whole related to obesity anyway. The entire teacher said, Cassiano, we obese or a lot of fat cells. And fat cells are not serve as a reservoir for cancer cells, for cancer causing chemicals, toxins. And you know, one of the factors obesity cause cancer. I don't know. And I think so. Fat cells nankasa no so na a factory a produce estrogen and other hormones. Intikasi related to esophageal cancer, colon cancer, gastric cancer, gallbladder cancer, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, liver, endometrium, uterine, awodie, pancreatic cancer, cervical cancer, renal cancer, kidney cancer, and multiple myeloma. So, alcohol and smoking. We share alcohol and smoking so ye de nyame ase say ye mo bebre no ye nom sa. But we share ye num ni ye minimum oropharynx, liver, breast, esophagus, larynx, cervical cancer, pancreatic cancer, and so smoking, so and also ni bebre. Into share almost all the cancers in are related to these factors. Environmental carcinogens, and also and also the chemicals are what we are seeing more baby are yet your mountains, your mountain, your timu, your neighborhoods, ensure yenum, and Yania yedi chemicals are yedi gunyania yedimu, chemicals are yedisraya, ensure yenum, in Rankasa, in neuro prescription drugs are yenum. Some mobile and saying blood pressure neurobi, and diabetes neurobi, recall why? Because a cause of cancer. Cancer causing chemicals. Acid reflux, neurobia, ya ton over the counter, ya ton for years. Recall why? Because who say cancer causing chemicals. Into your name be brace our honor. Se bibian can be my obian more now honor you a cause of cancer, so now you need. Into environmental carcinogens and chemicals and ebinidia. Chlorine, it may cause to be. Then on cause of bladder cancer. Any colorectal cancer, leukemia, nitrates and also a one assume any and no preserve any processed foods and also the nitrates and also a cause leukemia, lymphoma, colorectal cancer, motor vehicle exhaust, a free car to bano, a cause leukemia linked to leukemia. Indoor air pollutants. On say your and from my home. Especially near maybe your home, you usually use say air freshness. Normally, near maybe a plug na. We have commercial. Oh, in him, Bema Odema in him. Chemicals be more toxins. Pa and since all this bow fee na a son of a probation, not a son of a probation, and once a wound here and a sana who expose the environment of the house to these toxic chemicals. Your names and also linked to childhood leukemia and lymphoma. Lung cancer, and so chemical be a friend of nitric oxide, and also a bois, emano a worse. Lung cancer, polyaromatic hydrocarbons. Polyaromatic hydrocarbons, a chemicals are who will be a dorsum, a wooden debris, a bini PAA, polyaromatic amines, polycyclic aromatic amines, PCA, and no a free flesh. And with dear good. You kind of with dear say we dear na say fish, say chicken, say beef, say kusia, say animal protein na se uhiti no ana processing no one at a very high temperature and as chin at a very high temperature you produce polycyclic hydrocarbons ne polycyclic aromatic amines are very very toxic cause cancer. Okay, and pesticides no enema yedigu nkofo yefu a yedigu so said be ya entutu mmoa insects emery any fungicides na yedigu fungus weedicides a ebinom edikum ewira instead of so this kind of do ana so be mani pa kututu wira na ewu mu no na akọ spray weedicide na go so said be ebekum wira no ni nyina yenim say cause cancer. There's a lot of research why actually say cause childhood leukemia, lymphoma, brain tumors, Wilms tumor, and a whole lot of different types. You have another chemical be a friend of dioxin. Dioxins, you know, in free chemical byproducts. Chemical factories be produce toxins. No matter damp no into the drinking water. And they say, oh baby, city, you know, a treatment facility in treaty most of the time some of these pollutants end up in the drinking water. Into shall be environmental carcinogens, no, and also no. Infections and so also cancer. Infections, ebini dia hepatitis B, hepatitis C, also hepatocellular carcinoma, cancer, your liver mu, HPV, human papilloma virus 6, 16, 18, so also the anogenital cancers, or cancers, or cervical cancer, gastric cancer, and see a bacteria be a friend of Helicobacter pylori, and also cause cancer with adult T cell leukemia, and also cause lymphoma, and I know HTLV1, human T cell leukemia virus 1, and on the cause of cancer. No, in Tunisia, there were a lot of viruses, Epstein-Barr virus, and so yeah, a cause lymphoma, antivirus is a cause of cancer, no, and also any. Into yaka prevention, what means is by now build immune system not to me deal with infections a bit me prevent cancer. You say you're content kakra. After young genetics cancers are also linked to genes, colorectal cancer, all those idea what was and no any markers and I say in ruby and I say chemicals be what you mujamwa. Oncologists it will be a hormone almost tested. For example, BRCA1, BRCA2 now are common for breast and ovarian cancer. And only in himself are linked to ovarian and breast cancer. And anybody be brio hormone. Onye who say or sa BRCA1, BRCA2 nibia. Now perfectly healthy. And so no akwa ni yakotwetwa no nufu nyina free honum. Ni nufu nya hwe. So mo beka ya Angelina Jolie eyebi. Unfortunately, too much of a radical step to take as a prevention because genes, true say you can get the genes, but you don't have to get the cancer because it may prevent that from happening. Yakoya nim kakra yebe hu dia making. Nesopharia continue sha. Ohwe saa ni ma egusu nyina lung cancer, Burkitt's lymphoma, gastric cancer, pancreatic cancer, retinoblastoma, all these cancers linked to genetics. But but some other idea na genetic factors no be just 5 to 10% depending on your genes. Okay, until go into some serious stuff for her. It is some other kaya. The kwanya cells and first to divide in the bed and cancer. Normal cell ni cell a tia por na bibia enye no. Nyankopɔ boss entena se ne se na tie. Enti cell no ye wo bibi wo mu a ye as kosua e wo me ho na genes ni nyina no e wo. Enti ya no cell no nyini a cell na nkasa no emu pai mienu na genes no so mu pai mienu. Enti wo hwe a we mu ache mienu ba kokose na ba kwakose na yi na kosua na dan finfin na genetic material ni nyina wo mu no. Na no so mu ache na ayese. Enti na ekoso na nyini saa na nipadua no fa so nyini. Na cancer be start here. Mosha left has a carcinogenic agent. First of all, you have to have an exposure. When you're exposure to the chemicals that cause cancer. Now, when you're exposure to additional cause cancer, say chemicals, say radiation, say viruses, say ye aduane bi bibia eno no ama saa genes na wo cancer cell no asɛe adane no mom yɛnka hunu sɛ nipadua no dwumadi a ɛdi nyinaa no sɛ betumi yɛ di agye sɛ genes no na kyerɛ no deɛ ɔnyɛ enti genes no ɛna ɛkyerɛ sɛ saa cell wei ɛbɛba bɛyɛ nsa anaasɛ wei ɛbɛba bɛyɛ ɛhwene anaasɛ wei bɛba bɛyɛ aso anaa wei bɛba bɛyɛ meyafunu wei bɛba bɛyɛ mahrawa anaasɛ me kidneys anaasɛ m'ani genes no na ɛkyerɛ nti hɔ na information no ɛwɔ enti cancer no most of the time no genes no ɛna yɛ ana ɛyɛ damaged yɛfrɛ no mutation nti hɔ na start na saa first process no yɛfrɛ no initiation ɛne sɛ start cancer no start nti chemical no ɛkɔ affect cell no na initiate cell cancer no nti initiate wie a na sɛ start process ni wie a ɛno ne the first stage nti wohwɛ the classic cancer stages doctor for yɛkyerɛ yɛn anaasɛ yɛde yɛ adwuma no ɛyɛ saa 3 stages initiation sɛ ɛhyɛ aseɛ promotion ɛne sɛ cancer no afei enyini na ɛyɛ kɛse ɛna the third stage no deɛ progression ɛne sɛ afei ɛtrɛ ɛwɔ baabi a ɛwɔ no na afei ɛfiri baabi a ɛwɔ no so ato akɔ baabi foforɔ these are the 3 stages nti time yɛ aka yi no yɛde yɛba bɛka ɛkwan a yɛbɛfa so a yɛbɛ prevent cancer mom yɛnka sɛ ɛnɛ disua no yɛato din sɛ cancer is a preventable disease it is a yɛakɔ through nneɛma a ɛwɔ environment mu ɛne genes ahorow a ɛkɔ so cancer yi na yɛhu the stages of cancer development afei mom yɛnhwɛ kwan a yɛbɛfa so a yɛbɛ prevent 1 cancer nyinaa no ɛbɛhyɛ se a gye sɛ gene no asɛe miɛnsa nkɔ m'akyi biem na yɛnhwɛ adeɛ wɔ ha gene no ɛno na ɛyɛ the driving force nti sɛ ɛno no sɛe a na ayɛ den cell no asɛe nti sɛ cell no sɛe na nipadua no ntumi ankum cell no pɛ a ɛbɛdane cancer mepɔ so wɔ ha kakra 1 minute na maka obi ho asɛm sɛ emphasis na yɛde ama genes a lot of pharmaceutical companies and a lot of researchers focus ni nyinaa yɛ genes yɛ try sɛ yɛbɛ produce genetic therapies enura yɛde bɛ fight genes no ni nyinaa no unfortunately no the research doesn't support that ɛno nti na for more than 60 years ni a yɛhyɛ aseɛ sɛ yɛ launch the war against cancer still yɛnya cancer drone because the focus no yɛ wrong the focus no is looking at the genes. And the genes, yes, is a factor, but it is not the dominant factor. I feel mommy and slide. So we, if we research published in 2014, our cancer magazine and that's a journal of carcinogenesis. Now title no say cancer is a metabolic disease. Implications for novel therapeutics. Dear no mommy and we left one where your normal cell. In the normal cell no. Ini kusiyana na make na friend genes na na wahana na say oba technical name my friend the nucleus into nucleus no anase kusiyana na baabi a genes no wo no eno nie na ha say ya yefita no eho no no na enuane nuro ne chemicals ahoro ene niema ahoro abo ani pedua no me nya hode no so ho no ye friend cytoplasm into cell bi anofa there was cytoplasm and your nucleus all right into a divide equally. Cytoplasm no divided into 2. Now nucleus no so divided into 2. There's a nucleus no na edane cancer cell na enema eya kosem. Inti afei tumor cells so say net here. Is a tumor cells so ni nyina aye cancer. And also divided sa ni no nyina bedane cancer cell. Inti no omo yo man say okay. Ene cytoplasm no environment na kosiano anase genes no no and no any gene nankasa no de hin na determine say obi benya cancer. That was the study omo ye enti de omo ye ne say omo fa a normal cell nti cell a ne cytoplasm na ne say I say insuo yemfa ne say in swimming pool, maybe the way your example, fish pond, good. Fish pond kitwa ewo ho a enam no e swim wo mu no. Sa pond no mu no e ho no mu na fish no onya na aduane a obedi ne niam a obenya nyina e wo sa fish pond no. Enti pond no nsuo no eno no na eye cytoplasm no. E na yemfa ne se fish no eno no ne nucleus. Enti omo fa cell a ye normal, ne cytoplasm ye normal. E na omo de cancer nucleus, cancer genes e share sa cell no. E na omo se yenhwe de ebesi. No mo hwe ya mo hu se cell no e divide no e divide ye no na e produce normal cell. Say wow, we thought said the genes no and a produce cancer. I didn't think that genes near cancer cell, cancer genes. Now so you had to environment are clean and healthy, and to produce cancer in the division and also the offspring. And almost okay, and the reverse. The reverse and say almost cancer cytoplasm. A yes cell environment no cancerous. And omu yi genes ni free mu. Cancer cell no mu yi ni gene no. And omu di genes are clean genes. Shame fin say yen hwese de na besi. Mon hwe afa ye ko divide ye no. Na ko divide into cancer. So we see here say the driving force behind cancer development no enye genes no, it is the environment. Na sa environment no analysis environment na cells no mu no and no factors na impact na no the epigenetic factors and only the imyane ayedi enru ayenom and nsu ayenom chemicals aye use and no any the most important factor right now in him say drive the growth of cancer. All right, inti afemo mi enhwe. See a stages of cancer development now. Stage 1. Moka I said na yaka stages no yaka initiation. Awesome. And I had 3 stages, but me de ba kwa ka ho. Nti me instead of 3 no me de ba ko aka ho ba ko no any the exposure factor. 1. Say we are exposed to cancer cells. And sana wetimi nipadua no etimi adane cancer. We are exposed to chemicals that cause cancer, different carcinogens. Okay. Enti no exposure no dey. So we are exposed at na obetimi aya afa ho. Enti how to prevent that prevention of stage 1. And saying your liver nyankopon boy and your liver no wa hodin kese say odi clean nipadua no cleaning from all these cancer chemicals. And our chemical be more chemical be ho no more what plants more for the glucosinolates and no na aboa man liver na nya hodin na otimi di clean cancer chemicals if you say dey bia da ye ko ye home ye no ye didi and ye ma chemicals itimi cause cancer enti no any idea say which means say so build you liver now protect your liver here liver na betimi a cleaning itself afei sa chemicals ye here na wo vegetables must be a friend of the cruciferous vegetables. And no, any the chemical number 1 a boy and my idea then a detox, a cleaning cancer chemicals. A ho a hin was our vegetables. We more broccoli, collard greens, bok choy, beet greens, arugula, kale, watercress, cabbage. So our family way, a ho and only the number 1 detox chemical vegetables are your against cancer. After you hear the stages of cancer, stage number 2, initiation only saying any say the mechanical chemical no abani peduanum na a convert cell no genes into cancer cells. And no any saying a transformer cell na madana the cancer. Now no a say gene na a permanent damage. Untimi nya na hwe mane nye chemicals cause so be ni any PAA na American wasem no. A free fried meats ne broiled ne heated meats no. 17 different chemicals like that. And a yehu ewo enama yaho yatoton yache emu. And yawo another one your friend PAH. PAA ni polycyclic aromatic amines. And only the free protein meats no. And yawo another one your friend polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. And also you different cra. We no nyina no cause cancer cells. and on initiate cancer no. Okay, stage 2 prevention. About then you prevent stage 2. And near my yetimi betimi dia prevent stage 2 no. If I say cancer no start to cry, it has to grow. Something has to make it grow. But you betimi ama a prevent say e grow na nipadua no akana hia nti ebewo hwa enyini da. Nti na wo cancer but di bewu na enyini. And near my yes na fiber number 1, it removes chemicals no if you GI tract. For example, you beta glucans or oats mo. If you say carcinogens na chemicals na cause oxidative stress na generating maybe a free radicals. And free radicals no cause tissue damage, na cause inflammation. Na no you nim say a link to a lot of diseases, cancer, heart disease, stroke, cataracts, aging, memory loss. Now antioxidants, your chemicals it may prevent DNA damage and oxidative stress. And after so no a boy ma repair your DNA. Inti sa chemicals are a bit media prevent stage 2 na hindi be free. I say we share within the highest sources of antioxidants no. Ahina wo na wa say. Na sa we research almost publish research na me dey go ase no be here. It's Food and Chemical Toxicology, published in 2002. Title is saying anti-tumor promoting potential of selected spice ingredients with antioxidative and anti-inflammatory activity. A short review. In Tixakami, we know blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, raspberry, vegetables, we know herbs, hibiscus, oregano, sage, peppermint. We know the timi toxin and prevent oxidation. Stage 3, promotion. Promotion no and so saying afei cancer cells no shall say a grow na multiply na ye woni maybe woni pedua no my friend promoters a promote cancer na manini and ye what chemicals be so your friend anti promoters and also a can share e manini e bi na ye di kan aka ho asem it said ye wadua aduaba na enyini na so aba sa pepepe na sa stage we promotion e reversible. I shall say a nyini a bit near Kanasha Manasa I shrink him. It depends on the conditions and medical cano environment now, cancer cells no woman, epigenetic factors no. And on a betray say cancer cell be promoted na nyini ana say e be cash na amwana ajuju and any pediana Kanasha. Into stage 3 no any promotion no. Okay. Now ha mosha and yema a researcher omo publish no mo say blacky aye nipa a cancer na ewo nipa mu ansa na ye ba be hyase abaye intervention na omo hu say cancer no eno an say nyini nti wo hwɛ sa graph ya machemu emu achemi you know left side ni growth ni say cancer ni nyini right side ni ye then apoptosis and say cancer no ewu dying na omo hu say cancer na nyini na omo sesa na die esesa na diet kra esesa na diet na fe na cancer no na on say na shrink eni enyini biem na fe omo wie no omo di growth promoters bi a friend IGF-1 no insulin like growth factor 1 omo sa edi good cells cancer no so ehwa na sa enyini biem so na ha so hwe ha se ya omo say okay yen the opposite say ya hwe growth no yen hwe the shrinking the death no into the death no nie hwe cancer cells na omu di good dish mu lab no mo hwe a entimi enwu kura kakra bi na ewu omu sesa na diet na hwe afi na ewu omu bi no so okay yemfa IGF-1 na sanka ho biem omu di goose no na afi ni bu a ewu no na stop into conclusion is say IGF-1 one of those things na IGF-1 na he free animal flesh animal protein eggs cheese or dairy products, milk, eggs, chicken, beef, and nambia animal flesh, it promote the synthesis of IGF-1, a cancer promoter, a cancer in. All right. In stage 3, a be quite many be prevent stage 3, and no promoters, a bini estrogen, and it's our IGF-1. In a sign, you may your name may be phytoestrogens, our plants, you a whole lot of others. But the most important ones when you're dealing with cancer prevention your friend isoflavones and lignans. Isoflavones you was soy foods. In the first nipa be braces breast cancer and also breast cancer I mean ni soy. But research naturally say estrogens na what plants were phytoestrogens. Instead of promoting cell cancer, no, it actually shrinks it and prevents it from growing. And the next one is lignans. So lignans, chemicals here. So udi enwiane fiber wo mu te flax, especially flax. Now bacteria won sunu mo convert aduane no into these lignans and no eboa preventing the promotion of cancer. Now in the world right now, the most concentrated source of lignans known to research is found in flax seeds. Flax seeds. I feel green tea so our polyphenols be your friend ECGC epigalactocatechin gallate. And the DNA ya na koye twist kakra. And no green tea sa chemical there wo green tea mono polyphenol no and also inhibit promotion of cancer. I feel red meat and now no ya can ho asem that the IGF-1 womb and a whole lot of other chemicals and also promote to cancer cells. We reduce animal fat and also serve as reservoir now. That is how to prevent stage 3. I feel we research here published in 2005. Now we share fa a mema what prostate cancer emoja ena the cancer cells no egu dish mo research no ena hu say the moja no egu cells no aye cancer cells no so a mema edi standard American diet na only 9% of the cancer cells were killed. And almost switch your diet to plant-based diet. Almost switch your diet to plant-based diet, I feel 70% of the cancer cells were killed. I feel the same people in here, so that same research in here. And so we this is 1 year later. Into this was standard American diet, plant-based diet. 1 year later, 70% of the cancer cells were dying. This is the same patients. Into any baseline PSA 6.4 nanograms, where a prostate cancer na wohono. And a shower no. After 1 year later, now after a shrink, na PSA no about 4.5. Where a prevention, say any advanced stage of cancer na is say in term now take preventive measures. Now the SL you can shrink it. When you say prostate cancer, no now the treatment and say watch and wait. You try say because a slow growing. Now a drew a baby a year urging summer na for you treat you. Into when say now they were watching and waiting, they were able to do the research on them. Okay, stage 4. Now you progression and saying and it's a cancer now any na afi etre. Ako baby I want na atre so free baby I want to different parts of the body. I know na timi can say metastasis no. Stage 4 is a quite be first for preventing. And it's a boost to your body's immune system's natural killer cells. Natural killer cells, cells be one in no more. Cancer cells and virus infected cells. So, and basically you boost your immune system. Now, one of the things I need say boost your immune system. A type of mushroom here, friend, shiitake mushrooms. They are very, very, very powerful at boosting the NK cells. Now, and I think so block angiogenesis. Angiogenesis is saying, and this is a cancer, no, say, bit me engineer. Now, I spread there. Here, new blood vessels. Now, blood vessels, and then the Bible one man it spread. Until block the development of new blood vessels, I cancer into me. There were a lot of things. And my medical can have me now, it me boy. Now, and you may be sure you name say boy, vitamin D, flax, berry, soy, and turmeric. Okay. Into way any day, we enough. You can't prostate cancer because I don't know affected member parkers. Into young man, so the researchers here, so we study 3 different breast cells, cancer cells, and you different types. Into you move for 3 different types of breast cancer cells. And only blacks here, you and now almost cast almost test here. Into your quite almost so test and say, almost acquire cancer cells, no effasu enini. Effasu enini. And now almost SSR and nipano edidie. into all the 3 cancer cells in different types, type where you find MCF, where you find T47D, where you ZR75-1, different types. But the growth was the same because the environment was the same. Almost the same environment, na growth no swati. Now we the growth swati, now we need growth swati. And say, okay, and let's do another test. And say, into cell, we are almost for lab, no more fast, our cancer cells, no, and di good petri dish, any. Into di good petri dish, no, and di a nipa or what cancer, no, emoja, a good cancer, no, so say, young shady, busy. Into di good, so no. First, no, now we na hiding our black in an sanity, and any cancer cells, not tumor, na mumma. But almost nipa na or cancer, ni moja goose, no. Kakre bi ne wu ye so kakre bi ne wu ye we a aka nyina cancer and almost okay yen change nipa ne diet and almost change nipa ne diet to a plant-based diet into this same in just 2 weeks almost the emoja no from the same individual the only difference is that the same individual is now on a plant-based diet almost the emoja good cancer no so no look at what happened. This is what happened. All the cancer cells the aka anyway we no body just 2 weeks. It's not blood now is so toxic to cancer cells. It was killing the blood cancer cells left, right, and center. Another study okay the opposite side making sure said no clear. And BBI your friend of tunnel imaging of DNA fragmentation and cell death. And it's saying and it's a DNA no say answer cells no cancer cell ni be wu just a DNA na wu and as a genes na wu nti ye was study bi as a cell ni wu a gene bi e be wu bi ana soja nti omo hwe no hwe say omo ewo cancer na omo edidi standard American diet no kakra bi na asoja omo kakra bi one omo turn omo like diet no to plant-based diet no look at what happened. All the genes of the cancer were dying and then also white. Basically, what it means is you can make your blood inhospitable. Are toxic to cancer cells. I have said that I'm busy. Now the questions be more. I feel you bisa. Okay, intimidate man no be see ha say. Now if a question be or my questions be ba na the aka me de beka ho me da mase.
Yo Dr. Martin Opoku Jemfi yada wase e was a presentation ya wayama yen. And you know 20 minutes for questions and answers. And she said person busa question na ube to me apeja wonsa by using the sign no and as go to the church na type of question na person busa. And I say, Ubetuma Bodin, na me recognize na odo question aba. It is a idea, ye begging in Semisa Hodo, said the Beya doctor, a bet me a yano. The one say Yenia ameniam pon sour so, Timpato Yenia ameniam pon. Messiamo says and say, Pessy, a money public opportunity, go straight to your point, simple, said the Beya bet me recognize it, many people. Yenia ameniam pon, Pacho, Bremu.
Open you with our say, Doctor, there was no church, my son Busanini. And so can radiation who asem. Now radiation no can be to me a bemu ya. The entire me busa send once there was a small gadgets I try when she no some radiation, phone, computers, Wi-Fi machines. How do I try when she number radiations? And only if and so a cancer person I need na asem busa no.
So basically radiation, any form of radiation, say X-ray, say gamma rays, or say sun's UV rays, into BB a bit in cancer. Now, sa issue of gadgets radiation, no, issue be a settled. Research need be say, it may cause cancer, it be say there be it may cause cancer. But basically, the less wired you can get, the better it is, because even though any research is conclusive, can say yes, Wi-Fi anyway, may cause cancer. No, there is a lot of evidence that says it may cause interference in terms of your overall health. And the less why Mami, a typical example of a radiation, a bit dangerous. Meaning some more experimental we are. What the cell phone? A tire was so now kasa. A bedroom the boss was so because our cell phone communicating with the tower now radiated certain types of information be waves be magnetic waves be echo between the tower and yourself. Until I know a typical example, but in America can research is conclusive. Until me can say yes or no, but the more wired or the more gadgets you have, the more interference you have to your health. Until you bit much swire, that's it.
Yo, dog, that's my main question. See me and some free charge in the mumbra. If we are married or more pajamas and the kind panel, or we say, what are the implications of breast reduction and its cancer effects? And the second one here said, does dried fish like adrenaline help prevent cancer? Ghana for you, I say, we start adrenaline once a more. And the last one they say, can every tumor turn into cancer, or is every tumor cancer? Timbacho, you find some being safe for now, dog.
Okay. First question, and I'll say,
First question, I'll say breast reduction.
Oh, breast reduction, yeah, okay. Breast reduction, no dear. Basically, the cancer effect, no dear. Minyam who study be a chest or breast reduction surgery, a cause of cancer. I know the minyam who so be a who be a, the minyam who be sa. But the American say, any funny be no, almost preemptive strike. Say prevention, especially yakaso more BRCA1, BRCA2 genes, and BRCA1, BRCA2, you know, say related to breast and ovarian cancer. And you'll be a hormone say, Yasimi was a gene a genetic cause of breast cancer. And Timim Pessemania breast cancer, and Tino, may call Ako surgery, mastectomy. Now I could eat, and yes, we on breast cancer and you. I said, the own Yabintino, I breast, I perfectly healthy, I could try a free hole. And no, I make a say. So share all the available research are a unnecessary step, and yes, sir. Because most of the last images now they buy now, even no more breast cancer cry, yes, a diet, the blood became so toxic that it was able to kill some of these cells. It is an America. And I'm free adrenaline, and now they are yahono. And no, the minimum research be a tracer and now to me prevent cancer. Intino, no. Na the any mom say enam cause cancer because send in America no PA ni PAH na chemicals na onu anam uchi nam utu nam wa produce no eno na cause cancer ntino so we prevent cancer dia enye enam bia ni hold my research actually say it may prevent cancer. And the last question no say
the last question no say is every tumor a cancer.
Okay, and yeah tumor no you you will be a hormone benign and you will be a malignant. Benign, not just say, I tumor, but and yeah, cancerous. Cancerous, and then they say, there one no, I mean, can say tumor, cancer, be a tumor. Now, tumor, no, you know, it will benign, I just say, no, yeah, the other spread it, and I will pack home, baby, a one and a way be at the worst, a bit mine, and say, I can see, now it be as a structure, be and not a mere structure, not just a suffocating. In this, I will hold them na engineer. I will hold them sa na de akubu. Intinye tumor bia na ye cancer. Tumor bia ye benign no na enye cancerous. And you will be your honor and no edanic cancerous. No na be carcinoma. Na carcinoma and na spread it. Inti enye tumor bia na ye cancer.
Your dog me that say, em say ye nuaba Agnes Sechi upeja won santi bacho fa wo de ne bra. Na wo de ba meji ye nua SA enti Agnes Sechi na SA umienu mumu some questions.
Okay, doctor me pacho o kasa na o kafa air freshener ye di wo fie no.
Yeah.
That means that candle so kan ho na air freshener no dey na ba kafa ho because eno ye use ma fie ye hwan.
So the American say environmental, pollutants household pollutants ne chemicals bi ho a yenim sitimi cause cancer na me the air freshener example say chemicals be brave or air freshener mu a ni nyina no ye toxic chemicals no kra ma efia yehwam enso no wo be home niema ko mu na bibia wo be home bibia no particles yemfa ye ni hu but particles one from anu munti na utimi ho ehu a na ekọ nipadua mu a na ko dissolve wo mojam na free na cause problems into a lot of those chemicals you benya mo ma ye use because papa obia betimi aton ne dia kire say we ye papa chain we but ni nyina na ye chemicals into e betimi a yempe kwan pa bia different way you think ma fi ayehwam
yo do me that say say ye nua so identity SA Timbacho Fabria na wi am kocha to akopeke questions SA
yo Dr. Medasi.
Yeah.
My question is similar to the sister you be saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying nema ye new aduane na efie e be asenti aba ho. Enti say ya fast chemicals ya ye wo bibi ti say cinnamon any vinegar ne nema eno nso enye chemicals ya ye no eno nso etumi ma cancer na me question back no.
No sa de me nya research bi a kire say ma cancer. In fact your fragrances be natural essential oils. Your different one, your cardamom, your tea grass, your tea tree oil, your a lot of different essential oils in obitimi the as air freshener. Until no be natural, be and free lab, be any chemical, be obitimi.
Dog, you hear chat here, obi busa say and the Argentina vegetarians and so cancer woman. Does it depend on the stage? And another question about the kahona now they can we say obviously enlarged prostate a lady to cancer now.
Okay. So basically on say we know enipeduano on and yet mathematics to say 1 + 1 they be a 2. Oka 1 ni 1 boom or any dan be 2. This nyankopon kwa na say 1 + 1 = 1. Enti no de ye na nkyere say the fact say obi aye we nyina bi enti no unya cancer kra possible say obi ohod mo a why vegetarian and so no wetimi anya cancer but the research na kire ne say obi o vegetarian no betimi anya bi ba onya the body no be dealing with it better than obi a onye vegetarian because to begin with no ni moja no sani amede an example na kire ni moja no hostile ni moja na toxic to cancer cells dada into most of the time no ma o mo hwe o medidie yie no they survive cancer better. Number 2, and you will be a vegetarian, be answering the DDA. Will be a whole adjunct and said the fact is only no actually a vegetarian. Would the French fries, unum soda now, and one answer would processed food in the idea, only vegetarian, Papa. Intino. The Ayaka wants me, dear friend, whole food, plant based lifestyle. Just we're doing you know as close to natural as possible. And no more seven yaking. Nti wo ya wa fa mu dia na de aka no de amanya nkopon
that's na obi nso say enlarged prostate in so any cancer any relation
enlarged prostate there be no na nya cancer just enlargement and research nso a kire say nya relation bi any no benign prostatic hyperplasia and one enlarged prostate no prostate no na kisa aye kese na any cells no normal okay normal cells but cancer cells no adande ni su asesa o hwe cell no de to microscope ase na o de normal cell to ase a we won say we no unhu na ni ba bi a hye free na ba bi ekowie that is cancer cell but enlarged prostate ni cells ni na normal ba je kese na aye keke.
Okay, now be who say Dr. CKM and aye nearby Evelyn watching by and na be fa de no doctor fa we to aso obi busa o chart ni say GMO and that's genetically modified nnuane aye di no no predisposed predisposed to cancer na not any connection na causal link.
Yeah, so GMO no a very controversial. Oma kashepa, but the whole idea of genetic modification is say na midi kan we decide obi o hormone person obedo ewira into or spray chemicals go so na kum ewira no into oma design plants be said e be ya bibi e friend say we decide tolerant She said all the chemicals in the buswa plants e wo ho nyina ewira wo ho nyina be wu, but that particular one no emu. Inti na yes enam sa odi bebre na agusu nti no it soaks up the chemical okudia when the chemical no be. One of those chemicals na very toxic, your friend glyphosate. And no you nim say the research why it say cause cancer. In fact, South America, we be a lot of genetically modified soil, GMO soil. Now, obi be wo ne banana ne onin sa obi na oni ani a lot of enkwara ya wo mo within the farming areas no omu enye a lot of congenital defects, abnormalities ye nim say e no na ekoso enti ye nim say ekoso cancer enti so obenya GMO aduane de hwe ho free ho na hwe organic.
Yo, Doctor Medasin, but you call Dr. CK.
Meet me aboa no GMO no ho kakra.
Okay, and then for quickly right now, we are called Dr. CK.
GMO, the last game I said, Dr. Ebo and me can say what the GMO is for. Say, on my in such a way, say, you be an emperor. What the better GM, I did think a prono. A better horse 10 years at the whole Abubian for Nanonka, which implies a chemicals no omedi yankan you could make us the actual kubuno. Even toxic to animals and pro a better what 10 years. It is a idea that when I say walk around to me and we say yeah, it means that there are some chemicals we want and what in the part.
Yo, Doctor, say for your contribution. But your Dr. CKM, what do you mean about your brain?
You, we Dr. CKM, my wife, Dr. Vera.
Okay.
I just wanted to make a quick point. And it said we need to understand because sin is in the world, sickness is also part of that.
That's right.
Now, after the Garden of Eden, God told us that we're going to die. And over the years, we had to die. And say you can be a vegetarian and eat only a plant-based diet, but you can also get cancer.
That's right.
Young lady, be a friend of Matoya Newman. She was strictly vegetarian, 7-day Adventist, 43 years old, on a rare form of cancer. She died, I think, on the 29th. Ne papa ehede naturopathic center Alabama. But she died. And to put that into perspective, so people can be allergic to it. For example, soy. Some people are allergic to soy. For example, shiitake mushrooms. So some people are allergic, and you can eat it and have anaphylaxis. In ansana, we crowd approach it to start eating certain foods. No, go to one kasawo physician or what medical history, so they can help you. Any nutritionist, they can help you plan your diet. It's extremely important because one now taking things at face value. You may get sick being a vegetarian and die from that. Secondly, my last point, Harvard University School of Medicine, on the website, and I hope all of you will go there and read it. You cannot boost your immune system. You can strengthen your immune system. The definition of boost is to improve. You cannot improve upon what God has already made. Your immune system is perfect as God made it, but sin has ruined the immune system. So don't say boost, say strengthen. You can strengthen it. You can never improve what God has done because you're human.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean that's dog. So basically, so when what I meant by boosting your immune system is a research, extra say. I'm also the NK natural killer cells now. There are certain lifestyles. If you have those lifestyles, you practice those lifestyles. They make the natural killer cells' ability to kill cancer cells, more effective than other lifestyles. And now so far study now, a petri dish study now, how cancer blood from a standard American diet versus blood from a plant-based diet. That was what it was. And yes, the boost, it's used not means creating new immune cells, but with the one that you already have to make it more effective at killing cancer cells, bacteria, viruses, and so on and so forth. That's it.
Like you, Mami, through this question quick now, Mami Evelyn, what you will say? Drinking lemon water every day, it may prevent cancer now. So we are here, this is not an isolated standalone say.
bibi ba ko pe we na me ye what we are talking about is a lifestyle. And yet one thing is say be me num lemon water and I dey prevent cancer. A whole lot of things. Into we share say in America now, all the stages, you know, you will near maybe it me prevent those stages. And then me outline, you know, a whole lot of things. And we go back to okay. Anyway, and you know, a whole lot of things I'll be prevent all those different stages of cancer. And yet, on internet as well, there's a whole lot of things. There's all no lemon water, there's all no way, there's all no way. But me young research be actually say, no lemon water it may prevent cancer. But the minimum say a whole food plant-based diet. There's so much research about it. It's undisputed that fact. It's the only dietary lifestyle a reversible disease. Talk about diabetes, talk about high cholesterol, talk about high blood pressure. You can reverse a lot of these diseases just by changing your diet to a whole food plant-based diet. Now cancer and so diet plays a big role in helping prevent it. But it doesn't mean say the fact say why you way in an unya be say yedi kan yankopon ene inim, but you can do your best and leave the rest to God.
That's a paradox. Mamin ko insano to tiye mami Evelyn Boateng pa church in Kabremu. But your o kase bia na wo beauty ye mami Evelyn Boateng. And the bra yenten in kano mami fan fam obi so busa bibi about spices. Or say adobo ne other spices say die aduane no so e.
Yeah, so spices, you know, there are a lot of those spices your research wo you be na me to ho na muhu ya me the research ni gu ase you nim say antioxidant, any anti-inflammatory properties using certain spices, you know, as part of an overall healthy lifestyle, you know, you nim say you good because it reduces inflammation. A lot of these diseases are a lot of the chronic diseases are the baseline inflammation. All of those have inflammation. Even in cancer, there was cell be or your friend NF kappa beta chemical beer. Your name say and no approval to inflammation. Now, in fact, when we research as part of the cancer therapies, you know, to find a chemical that can do that. But a lot of spices can do that. Turmeric is one of them. Sage is one of them. And you know, spices ni bi ohon mo a etimi yesa, but nye spice ni nyina de kakra minim no ene de mabobodin ni de listen am de to so no. And two, ade a eye ma obi a no enkyere se won so koye e be ya ma obi ohon ma ni yefunu ntimi spices. Inti bia obi akodi black pepper na won so akodi black pepper na oye ma ya na say ade si ese ye o. Inti na nyankopon bo ye na obo variety bebre. So you look at the variety, you know, which one of those are now what you use. But there is a lot of research that says some of these spices have anti-inflammatory potential and properties.
Yo, dog, me that say, and you may want to emphasize the plant-based diet. And the question will be say, can you what is a plant-based diet? And or they to also say, is it just adding fruits or vegetables, or is there more to it?
Okay, so I'll go back to the research that I may refer to now. Plant-based diet, what they did is especially the breast cancer cases, you know, for 2 weeks, diet was restricted to only plants. Just basically, you know, for 2 weeks. No chicken, no fish, no eggs, no cheese, no dairy. That is for 2 weeks. In plant-based diet, generally, you know, in general terms, we are referring to a diet that is predominantly from plants, whether it's vegetables or whether it's fruits or grains or legumes or nuts or seeds. And consider the plant-based diet. But and ya obia and ebetini aye 100% plant-based. The recommendation are based on good research. We share the blue zones na baby we are seeing na baby any petini up to 100 years. the one underlying factor, whether it's Sardinia in Italy, Okinawa in Japan, and they say the people's diets in 80 to 90% plant-based and just 10 to 20% animal-based. And generally, many patients, the advice I give them is say, your goal is to go as plant-based as possible. And so to me, and pure plant-based, that is not the goal. The goal is at least 80 to 90% plant-based and just 10 to 20% animal-based. Oh yes, sir, you get a good balance, because what you want is you want to get all these factors here to make your immune system very, very capable of dealing with some of these things that you can watch.
Yo, dog, yeah, that's a pa. I always say, come to me for Obia, na a brand new Mame Emfa, ya 12, me who's on sour soon, but what you mean, Cabrim, ya 12.
Yo, me pacho, me that's it, Pastor. Me pacho, me question, they say, heat na a saw them, no, it me also cancer na. Pacho, me question, that's it.
Heat, sir. I know the who research the say to me cause cancer. That's
you.
Dog, yeah, that was a baby. Say, and then your questions maybe on a grading, my main for last 1 year, the 1 minute here came from to us. So this is a magic cube, dear, and I gonna for dear, Obusa say, and also say a cause cancer, and I say, and what's something to say.
I know the who research be a chest also cancer, but meaning say there are a lot of things in the Maggi cube and healthy for us. To begin with, the amount of salt, sodium I woman by itself, from 1 Maggi cube when you have a lot of sodium, very very high in sodium. Number 2, a lot of those cubes, our MSG, monosodium glutamate. Monosodium glutamate, there's a lot of research or where I just say are toxic to your nerves. A bit may cause nervous problems, and it may cause hypersensitivity. More asthma, a lot of hypersensitivity, allergic diseases. It may be worse. But cancer, the who say research the MSG also, but other problems the cube Maggi cube can cause it. It emphasis say you stay as close to nature as possible. Instead of using Maggi cube, you can use normal things like garlic, basil, herbs, maybe their spicy, their flavor with biryani. That's it.
No, but that's him say questions where coming for be a great but a idea you common to you and my main friend non kahona we answer never in that of fire mammy. I am you from the chat. Obi say microwave. I did warm biryani no. To me cause cancer na we no. No, Obi say inquire this body lotions. And I heard that is a whole door you use to know. Didn't know and also and what's them to say, Timbajo, who answer when not just a bonnet of everywhere by your brain into that's it.
Yo, microwave see one of those issues topic now very controversial. A microwave, a domestic microwave, are you using the fee and idea? Research, and yet very concrete. And yet conclusive, say microwave are using with fear a course. Even though microwaves in Ankasano a cause cancer, but the domestic microwave are utensil and as appliance are using with fear. Research is very conclusive. Into the individual, so pair no use so pair because I know the mean teaming say definitely no meaning research be or white chest a cause cancer. No, the mean who be the Number 2. Skin lotion, hair dye, a lot of those are toxic chemicals. My philosophy, most of my philosophy is idea need to me and mean come here, no men fans ramen. Because your skin it gets into you, absorbed somehow, it gets access into the internal of your body. Now, research actually says, especially black hair dye, research actually says are linked to cancer. I know the research actually now the simple answer and I said there's a lot of research to show say a lot of the hair dyes, especially the very dark ones, are linked to cancer, especially breast cancer and especially in African American women. Indeed, so be TMIA. Now answer no.
Dog,
That's it.
that was education out there, my until we final word out the my you brain na yemfa jumedi in konnewie na yemfa de kan ento aso.
Yo, me that's intino. Until busunya for say na yedi kan aka no yesua hunu say. Yes, cancer area ekum nipa bebre. But cancer no hwe ni nyina 90 to 95% ye caused by environment and only 5 to 10% and ye genetics. What it means is say we can do a lot to prevent cancer from happening. Now, research no say wo ho no kire say wohwe societies omo lifestyle and yet standard American diet lifestyle any Western European diet no a lifestyle now. Certain cancers, even generally cancers, are low. One example, colorectal cancer, colon cancer. Ocean Africa, Ocean Asia, Southeast Asia, we do a lot of plants now, and you're common, sir. And you know, and then the Asian say, and you may be brave, bit me a beboy. Now, the best thing we can do is say, a beboy may prevent cancer, no, and say, you better back to nature as close to what God gave us as possible. And no chese se obi ye saa na onya cancer na chese saa enye. Na de kire ne say, wo wa ye wa famu de what you know you can do to prevent disease. And if it happens, nyame nenim, but most of the time no, if you do your best, you prevent a lot of these diseases. It no the a fact. But the fact also stands to say there are some things unfortunately we have no control over them because we are not God. Like saying Dr. Khan, we live with sin. It may be a one they will happen and we can't explain it. But mostly, the you do it, and there's research to show say you can prevent a lot of these things. That's sure.
Yo, Dr. Martin Opoku Jemfi, Onyamin Shao, Ewosa education adiama yen. Yenye ya femu die na yemfa diaka emenyame. Yenua Daniel, sorting in camp, if I chose so you may dear Munafatu Asuma yen.
Yo, for say yeah better Dr. Martin Opoku Jemfi asepe ye adisua wo dia mayen mre no mgidi ye se ye nyina ye fa ne dia ye adwuma onyame be hira ye bebrebe cancer de se nyame adom abon ho ban na wonyanya bia anamon bia wa ankasa obetumatu bia se wonya bie no ye ofam de ya dia ye no sa ebeboa ye mpa enunti ye call into a season of prayer. The best nipa miensa ebebɔ mpa ya amae. Nipa odi kan no yenua Daniel Kakraba ye bɛsrɛ no. Na wode asɛm a doctor de brɛ yen. Wɔnsrɛ nyame hɔ ahoɔden ma yen. Ya te bebre, yenim bebre. Enumɔdɛ no den onyame mmoa yen. Na yenwe kwan a yebetuma fa so a yebetuma tena se yie na yetumi atere wa asase so sene ya wonu nyame no ahyehyɛ ama yen enti yenua abɔbɔ mpa ya so nyame sɛ woni yɛ anim na adesua a wɔde ama yen mmere yentumi mfa nye adwuma yebɛsrɛ special prayer nso yɛbɔ ama yenua no mo a yɛ singles a wɔyɛ ntam nyina wɔn a wɔn aduru wɔn mfie so a wɔn hwehwɛ aware na say woman so omo content crow at this point ye betre ye maame Grace Kwaten na ono nso abo sa empire no amaye na ya hre osofo Peter Omane enso ye de anim na wabo mpaye hronko kwan so na wo de asafo mai nyina hyenyame nsa titriu ene COVID-19 abesensen ye nkomu yakoni abedie yensre unyame enchen bambo amid covid nyina unyame nhira na safo na wo mana safo nso enkoso a entumpon na mo ma ne bambo no enye kese ewo asafo mai nyina so emeda kwan yefo asafo wi asafa na nyina sofo Peter Omane ebedi anim ewo saa empire nim te abusuafo mma ye nyina yensi etrase na wo betuma bu nkotodwe na ye a kono saa na enuanom miensen eni anim ewo yen season of prayer. Eni Daniel, what's your nka obeso mama e?
Mutu obo so mo meeting. but I have to oh, you're okay, but I don't know why.
And the mommy Grace bet to me, I call Nasa or to me 10 and 1 hour Saba.
Mama Mompae. Yanaja was through. Yet I was see why you can't food din. Yet I was a so boy and was Suban Susa one sesso. Na wo boy no wo ma ye hu se enye se woni pankwa betenase wo ba be ye ne se so boafo ama no enti wo bo oba e kan be ma ho so ontenase na afi won hye wunyame animonyam yada wase bebre se wa hwe ye so na wo di akyede esronko amema ye mu binom amemi ye nya ahokafo na aduru ebinom so omumfie so ayeso mu enya ahokafo na nsusu omunya twedi ampanwumre yaba wanim yesra wo mobro ho ade se saafo nyina omuhia ahokafo onyame kunimdifo a wo chema ne su aboantete yaso twedi ampo yeso se ko mumwa na obi biara a wo hwehwe wo kani a wo hu ba bi yeso wofa na wodi if ebre adam no yeso se twedi ampo hwehwe saafo yi ahokafo ema wo mu na wo munye anigye ene asetena pa ema wo mu kra na wo matimi ahye wunyame twedi ampo animonyam ebiem suso ye the single parents for a wo mu suso ekwan bi su no wo mu awo na suso wo mu ni ekunu ene yire saafo nyina twedi ampo ena nwumre ye sro wo mobro hu ade ye se twedi ampo hu wo mu mobo ekwan bia so atwedi ampo wo be fa so na waboa wo mu se be ye wo benya ahokafo no matena se ahye wunyame animonyam no ye sro se nwumre tie ye sufre na feti ma ye ma wo nsere ese ekunafo a wo mususu wahwe wo mukunu anase wo mu eyire no na wo mu ti ho a wo musu ehwe ahokafo no eje nyame ye sro se hu ye mobo na fe yi bi ma wo mu na atimi aboa wo mu ama yatimi adɔ wunyame ne yatimi asomu nukure mu yesro until then no yesro twedi ampon maye twen honhom maye akoma ene akono boni a ebetimi adi akɔ oseye mu na boa ye nsebe ya sitina mu no yebetimi atena se ne yehye wunyame twedi ampon animonyam na nam so sa pan so so boa ye ya yetimi adɔ yetimi afa wakwan so nam saye so se twedi ampo wupia obetu se ye fata wahini mu yeda wase enanwumre se watie wadoma incident amen
amen Yehu atumfo ye to aso de ayi amawo o kan wo Exodus 16:26 se Israelfo no edi wakwan so a no mo fa kwan a odi ato amawo mu so yade a odi eba mizimfo so ne bi nka wo mo erade yade abesin se wiemu ye ni da so ne akwanfo wa wani monyam nti boye nyina ye wala hu ban se sa yade bi nkan se bia kan obi erade sane yade man amen wadu nu ahumo bro nti so yen samre mu din eni eni nkomopo die tata fa sumboni wiasim ai nam yade emu so yade nkan wadu nti sa yade o din mu nti amen
amen okay so yenya Daniel and to me ma my empire busiafo therefore yeda wase anwumre ye wonam wakwa so e de amaye ye hia wase titena yi mu bia no wunyame wo de adom ye ne ye betumi atu ho anamon wonam panimfo so atwen adwen asiso anwumre no ye srew se ma ye ahoden na anamon a wosi yetuo no ma ye ntumi ntu ye srew se dum ye nsa ye bompa ye ne ye srew se kansa ya rie se obi ewo ye mu a wanya bia ye srew se ebra ye bompa ye wunyame hu sa nipa no mobo na empo ebra wo tutu anamon ese some of these presentations here yetie ma yes so ye ne ani die ne ye niema no so ne anka research yi point to no nka wase sana nka ya rie wo tutu ase afri wo mamu kra ye hyew se dum ye nsa dom ya hoɔden ma yɛntumi mfa ntu anamɔ a ɛbɛboa yɛn na ama yɛ asetena wɔ asase yi so no ayɛ deɛ yɛbɛhyɛ wo nyame wo din animonyam na yɛtumi di ɛna sɛnea wo nyame wahyehyɛ ama yɛn ɛwɔ asase yi so yɛda wase anwummere yi ɛwɔ deɛ wode ama yɛn hyira yɛn nyinaa wɔ dɔba Yesu Kristo din ne mu nti amen.
Amen.
Yo, abusuafo, mama yen take these few announcements and sana ya transition them say manusi pepepe ya beshe a special prayer session ase sa session ne de sene amuni mu no ya beshe yenu anu mo aboa yen stream service nyina no ya beshe say no de mamu stream no online e ma yen e pese ya private na no pastor oseba bi di anim nyame ya adom a ekina no pa no nsia Eastern Standard Time no ano yebeba pastor mo aba bi di anim for your morning devotion no ekina eba ye na watu ya bompa ye bebre na ye gidi yesu se onyame nso ye nsenkyerene bebre wo ye ntem nti nyame ya adom a ekina ye bedi adanse na sene adanse die no ye mre no nti ye pese ye hwehwe no ne se bomodia se udi udin ebema yenu apanyi agena se wuni ne number no enie mpanyimfo de beto afidie no so but meka for the sake of more free into this particular meeting no the number no 773 403 3433 773 403 3433 ma yenu ano ensanka udin sene beya ekina adansi die no wonso ubetumi enyamu echefa saa yeba mu nyina amase enumrei se mobaye yebeja ha ama pastor Osei na watu aso.
Somebody to Sakara, the woman named Jessica. Dear brother was a sister. As I see a room, so many a period. A pentampa, yes, Bayana, me ma bo me soko, Mirafi, meye muwa watu Ankansu orisin Famu diye bumema Mommira fi Mommira meji mahumi Amu wavisi ya miwuma Dia sanji ya bayena Mema bome soko Mommira fi Mommira meye muwa watu Sikanti na mifire mi meya wanti yana Dainti mifire mi meya wanti yana Sanka mi bwe wani Nama huwada mudi ya mashisha mamuwa mi mai Kamu bebu ya sidiye na tantai diye biya mumpe Ensuwe ya siye fire mi mayeni Wanasuwa sisi Dede wo wasunti mi fire mi maya wanti min